We're live. Yeah, guys. Hey, how's it going? Well, it's been a disparaging few days to say the least, and live streaming the whole pin repair process. I didn't have both hands up, but I double digress. Anyway, we're joined with Gematria database. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining me.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Ah, freaking.
Ah,
What's not capsizing and just taking the shit? Everything's shit in the bed since it's in vogue right now. Thanks, Amber. You made shit in the
said
bed a
that.
popular thing. Well, I, fiction writes itself apparently nowadays, but isn't the world just a wonderful fiction? Hopefully, we
Right?
are in a simulation, because okay, anytime now you can. Anyway, I'm just joking. Yeah, so it's not going well. However, this morning I had a very, very positive experience where, and it was also heartbreaking at the same time, because I spent about 6 hours. I went through, I pulled off a bunch of pins off of the donor chip that I have, and I cleaned them up. Like, I mean, I gave them the gears. Like, I freaking I pulled them off. I soaked them in flux and just heated them right up, and got all the like basically took all the solder off it, and then reapplied
Mm,
fresh solder. I reapplied all the bases of them. Like, I basically just cleaned them off, and we're talking microscopic. I have shitty hand-eye coordination, to say the least. But yeah, I guess you could say I've kind of been working on it out of necessity. But that being said, yeah, it took me like 6 hours to get like 13 exact number. I did about 15, 16, maybe 17 to give myself a couple extras, because they're so tiny. Like, we're talking like the thickness of the copper. We're talking like, I don't know, might be talking a little bit out my ass here, but we're talking like point zero eight, maybe point 0.1 of a millimeter. That might be a stretch. I think the base might be point 0.1 of a millimeter, and then the rest is like a hair compared to that. So I don't know. It's pretty damn thin though. And if you get them into tweezers just right, and you apply just a little too much pressure, ting, it turns into a fucking like microscopic projectile. The thing's gone. It's history. It vanishes from this existence. It completely it teleports to another reality. It's gone.
there's no finding that shit.
It's done. Oh no, it's weird because what, I don't know, like, you live in that little microscopic world, because I have a microscope. It's not microscopic. It's not that small, but it might as well be with an old fucker's eyesight like mine, you know. But yeah. So anyway, yeah. No, handling it though, like, it's like very nuanced movement. Like, you almost have to do things like deliberately, like you meant to do it, but you find out that it doesn't work the same way. Like, because your sense of depth perception, unless you got one of those stereoscopic fucking microscopes, those are badass. Then you'll have, I'm certain you'll have depth, and you can, you know, see what you're doing properly. The setup I got is a two-dimensional rig, so you're guessing your your Z depth. You're guessing. You know what I mean? Like, so it's there, but it's kind of
Right?
fake. You're using your best judgment as a reference point because you played video games your whole life, like Saxon. You know,
Right.
but
Like hand-eye coordination.
yeah, and fake 3D, fake three dimensions of depth. Yeah. So anyway, that being said, I want to thank a viewer who donated to the beer fund tonight. Yeah, you know who you are. Anyway, but oh man, it's just been a stressful few days. Um, I've pulled every rabbit in my ass I could find. Just, yeah, that's not the one. That's not the one. That's not the one. There's a lot of rabbits running around all of a sudden, and this
Right?
dog. She's just staring at me. She's just staring at me, giving me the gears. Every time I look at her, the tail just starts going with walk, 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 like a little velociraptor's tail. But yeah, it's just been one of those stressful few days. And I mean, the whole thing started from a fumble in the first place. Like, when you remove a CPU fan, like, it comes off as a separate block, right? And you kind of give it a little bit of a twist. Like when you take it, like before you lift it out, give it a little bit, just a gentle twist, just to kind of crack the seal, because it's going to have all that thermal paste stuck to the CPU between it, right? So it creates like a vacuum. Anyway, that's what happened. Fucking as soon as that fourth lug got released off like the fan, and it broke loose, it pulled the CPU right off with it. Like, forget about the twist, it just went. It just popped right off the motherboard and jumped out. And then as it jumped out, it broke off the fan and then fell into the case. And yeah, it was a nightmare. I had to,
Oh no.
straighten pins. And man, I tried my best, but some of those pins were folded over. And like, you try your best to bend them back, and thunk, they just break off like nobody's business. Like, yeah. So here we are.
Yeah. This is plan B.
The fucking klutz. Anyway, it's my fault. It's my fault for being a clumsy oaf. But whatever. What can you do? I mean, I should have, maybe if I had it more stable, like stabilized, maybe it wouldn't have popped out like that. I don't know. Obviously, it was something to do with how I did it, and I didn't catch it before it freaking fell out. Like if I was just a little faster, a little bit wiser, a little bit less fucking clumsy. Like, oh. But hey, what can you do? Yeah, these things, they do happen. Now I got to mitigate it. I don't have money, so I have to try and make up for what I don't have with skill, and I don't have any of that either. So we're gonna have to see where we can go from there.
Alrighty.
But it did turn over. I got her to fucking post this morning. I got it to post. And, like, that was after hand placing 13 of the pins. I'm going to pull the whole thing over here anyway in a few minutes. I'm going to bring it out and kind of show and tell and talk about it a bit. Because there's some stuff that happened off camera, obviously. I didn't do everything live. Like, it was just... It's so taxing. Like... I want to use the computer for research. I'm trying to find out different things, like everything from, you guessed, like metallurgy and solder, malleability, heat, thickness, tolerances. I'm looking. I want to use it as a thing while I'm freaking streaming. It's like doing it's a one trick pony. Like it just can only do one trick at a time. So instead of streaming, I'm and really, honestly, this is about the extent of it. I mean. Like anything added to this, if I try to use like motion video, if I try to really share anything that involves like playing a video like YouTube or it just dies. This Raspberry Pi, I tell you, it's definitely worth its salt. This Raspberry Pi business, I will say this, in a pinch, if it can do this, it can do your day-to-day desktop bullshit. Like, whatever, if you have a simple job. Oh, did you fucking go out and come back in, you son of a bitch? Get back in.
Yeah. It was an accident.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. I've had a few of those. A couple oopsies. But, anyway, you heard the story anyway. Were you there the whole time? You could hear me, obviously, right?
Yeah, I was just out for a minute. For 1 second.
Okay. Right. But, anyway, yeah, man, it's been a nutty couple of days. A lot of research, and like I said, I can't research and stream at the same time. Sometimes I just want to turn it all off, right, and just start kicking holes in the wall. But luckily, I haven't gone there.
Take a break.
Oh, I've gotten close. I've thrown a couple things. But, tonight we're just going to kind of, I don't know, pull everything back out. I got to yank all the pins out. I want to examine them because now I'm going back to not being able to post, and the machine's just kind of it'll start for about 2 seconds, but the CPU light will be lit up on the motherboard, and it stops, and then it starts again, and then just kind of sits there in a stuck position of just running but not on. It hasn't booted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that was the original condition. But this morning, I swear, man, after meticulously going through all of the pins and treating them one by one to the point where I had 14, 15, 16 of them, whatever it was, I proceeded. I only had to change like 4 pins. And then I went and tested it and got nothing. And it's because I didn't put the fan on yet. I was like, okay, you know what? The little added compression, because when you screw on the fan, you bolt it down into 4 points, it'll push down on the CPU, right, in the socket. So I'm like, that might give it that little extra oomph, right? And boy, sure did. Bam, I got it to post. I didn't have anything connected to the computer, though, just one monitor. I had no keyboard, no mouse, no nothing. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. This is great. I hooked up a mouse quickly. I went and said, okay, so shut back down again, shut down properly. And then I took everything, disconnected the Pi, and reconnected it all back up to the main computer. And then I got my attention diverted for an hour or so. I had to take care of something around the house here. And then came back, went started up, and boom, back to the first boot that I had attempted. It just didn't go. It just went, nope, fail, CPU fail. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was just like, no, I'm not doing this today. I'm not doing this today. I'm just going to kind of, I've been at it for 4 days straight, guy, I'm telling you, and I'm just sick of it. I'm absolutely sick to death of it. I just had to kind of recapitulate, have a fucking nap, sleep, eat.
There you go. It's like,
I'm gonna have a couple of beers. Gonna have a couple of beers here, thanks to a viewer, and just sit back and just kind of chill out. I'm gonna hit it hard after the podcast. I gotta do some preparatory work, and then I'm putting it down for the night, and then morning I'm just going right at it. I have a plan, and it involves a couple of different things that I've played with so far, and I think it's going to be like the trifecta. I'm going to come in from 3 different angles. I'm going to use the last 2 approaches in part, and then a third idea at the same time. And I have a funny suspicion this is going to work. This is going to be what gets it. So. Or I could totally, absolutely fuck everything up and be whining, saying I need $200 to buy me an AMD Ryzen 5 processor from new. You know? But, yeah.
We hope it doesn't come to that.
Well, it kind of already has. I got a fundraiser started on Facebook, so if you'd like to donate and contribute, by all means, don't be shy. Don't be shy, because I have to get a new one anyway. I'd like to earn it and buy it myself, but right now the only way to do client work is to have the goddamn thing, because I can't do the client work on the Raspberry Pi. Not to mention they're all on SATA drives, which I'd actually literally have to take apart. I'd have to take apart the caddies that I have for my SATA drive, my external. I literally have to rip it apart just to take the hard drive out, so I can swap out the hard drive from my main machine, just to get access to the freaking files.
Oh no!
And then what am I gonna do with them? I can. The Raspberry Pi is a beast, but it can't really do a lot of like the higher higher function, like photograph, retouching and shit like that.
The stuff you need to do for your client.
Yeah, I would be doing motion graphics or running Blender. I mean, you can run Blender, but it would run like shit. It would be so frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna have a good display on that.
Or a good workflow. I mean, you'd probably be able to do the job, but it would just be so frustrating, long, and tedious, and then crashes as well. Like, you'd probably get some overheating issues.
Oh, for sure.
Because here right now, it's hotter than friggin' Venus right now here on this in Kelowna. It just gets boiling. And I mean, I'm in a room that normally I've got three monitors running, right? And then I've got my main machine, and then on a good day, my laptop. People say, "Why don't you use the laptop?" Yeah, if I do anything more than like check an email, it friggin' it overheats. It just goes, "Oh, I'm done," and it quits. It's just like I'm turning off now. And no, thanks. Wake me up when it's over. That's not a bad. It's not a bad idea. I did a lot of sleeping today.
Not me.
Oh
I'm gonna
man,
do my
being
sleeping soon.
frustration. Yeah, it takes a lot out of you. Frustration does.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have one person watching. Howdy. How you
Hello.
doing out there? It's
Welcome to
probably
the late
if
show.
if it's not a bot, it's I think it's a Twitch viewer. I'm not sure. Let me see. I have to double check. Doesn't tell me right here on the screen. I have to hover over it. Yep, it's a Twitch viewer. Howdy, or it might be my Twitch bot. I'm not sure.
It's funny.
I have
It's like,
to
hello, bot.
program. I have to program my own viewers now. I think this is actually a legit viewer. So thanks for watching. I don't know if chats got any. Nope, nothing. But yeah, man. No, I've been doing a live stream here, just kind of showing what my next step would be, and blah blah blah, and try and at least learn the motor skills to do something like this surface mounted uh, Maya, what are you doing? Sorry, the dog, but she's not in the frame, I guess, but she's there. I'm not talking to nothing. But the
It's the ghost.
very happy ghost. What, Maya? Oh, wait, you want to be on film? Here. Oh wait. Are you? Here. Where's your face? Where's your head? Where's your stupid head? There is a ghost. Ah, shit. What was that?
I don't know. Speaking of ghosts.
No, I just dropped something and it fell. Oh, great. That's awesome. That's the second time today. When I was chatting with you earlier, I friggin' clumsy me, I dumped my ashtray. Well, I just dumped it
Yeah,
again.
you said that.
I just dumped it again and my keyboard at the same time. But everything is upside down right now because I've had to pull everything out, all the wires, friggin' junk and things I haven't seen for like 5 months have come into view. It's been pretty crazy. But yeah, it's weird. I've turned a tripod here into like a workhorse. Like I have like the telescopic arm for controlling it turned into a remote arm for camera mount. I've got a light fixed to it, and then I've made a mount for the microscope so I can kind of extend it and drop it into the freaking computer, into the guts. Should do a whole making of after this whole thing falls flat on its face and I suck it up and buy a processor. I mean, like I said, I have to buy one anyway, but like I'd like to
You could
get
do
this
that.
going in the meantime while I don't look like an absolute whiny cunt, you know. But hey, what can I do? Pardon my French. But yeah, man, it is what it is, I guess. I'm whiny. So, but what can you do? I'm gonna use this little tool. It's a solder sucker. It's not a plaything. But anyway, yeah, it's just to suck up solder. But I'm gonna use this to pull up pins. I'm hoping that it'll grab the pins that are loose and just suck them in.
It could work.
I don't know if you see how that works. It just goes.
Yeah.
And then it just.
Good.
So anyway, yeah, it might work. It might not. There's a couple different tricks. I've used magnets and stuff like that. Now it got me thinking. Like I'm wondering if there's a way that I can heat up like if I could create like a bit that has like a slot in it, and then I slot in all of the pins, if I
Uh-huh.
can't heat up like 10 at a time, well, not 10, I don't have any, but like so I have spaces like where there's like a run, let's say, of 3 or 4 pins, right? Why wouldn't I be able to heat up 3 or 4 pins at the same time and then drop them in, drop them onto the chip at the same time, like, like lower them. Like I'm just thinking if I can think of like a jig or something I can make, and then have like like the soldering iron. I was looking at the soldering iron and at the bit. I was like thinking if I took my Dremel and I made like a slot or something that they could sit in, right? Like because like I said, they kind of look like pegs. They kind of look like the battleship pegs, but with but like with the one end is like the fat end is like cut off, and it's just like a thin plate, like a thin wafer with a big stick hanging out of it. And then basically that's what these pins look like. It's a base with base with a pin, and then I'm thinking, yeah, if you just roll the rod surface out onto like a slot, and have like the bases are hanging off the edge kind of deal, and like you can put 3 or 4 of them in a row, heat them up simultaneously, and then tin them at the same time with the solder, and then just drop them all at once on the spot. Now, I mean, it sounds great in planning, but remember what I told you how light and small these things are. The slightest movement that makes it stress and flex, doing, boom, out of this dimension, it's gone. It doesn't exist. It's probably in the food. Oh, is this Gematria database passed out again? Here he goes. He's going. He's going. And out of here. Gematria database is passed out. Wake up! This isn't the first time, folks. You've seen it here live. Once or twice or 3 times before. Hey! Hello! Hey there, buddy. Oh, man. What's going on, Gematria? Well, we'll just have to. That's hilarious. Okay. Well, until he comes back, we'll just. That's too much. Oh, I can't do it. Anyway, guys, I guess he must have had a busy day. It is a late night podcast. He said he was going to be crashing soon, but I'm going to be back in a little bit. I'm going to bring the machine out, and I'll be doing a live stream, and we're going to look at what's on the go for tomorrow. I have a plan, and I'll talk about it here. It'll if it doesn't happen tonight, it'll be at least sometime in the morning, because I might have another nap. But thanks for watching, and well, hopefully I can get this thing sorted out. And I just want to get back to work. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Oh, there he is. Oh, did he wake up, little snoozy?
What happened?
There
I
he
passed out.
is. Wake up, little snoozy. How you doing?
I'm like narcoleptic over here.
Yeah, well, all right. I was just signing out. I was just telling everyone that I'll be back with the live stream doing the actual computer stuff. But
Okay, yeah, and then
we're
we'll get back to doing off the rails and stuff like that too.
yeah, as soon as we get this machine freaking fixed, hopefully I can do something tomorrow. But I have a plan. Hopefully it works. That 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 little bit of it working this morning gave me hope, because at least if I can generate different results every time, then that means that there's something happening. So if nothing happened every single time, it would just be like, it's over, man. It's over,
Right.
man. Totally drop some aliens friggin' lines at you. But anyway, buddy, yeah, you have a great night. Rest up. We'll we'll reconvene, and I'm just telling the folks that I'll be back either, if not later tonight, with the outline for the plan for tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with the outline for the plan for tomorrow. But anyway, guys.
Yeah, this is to test if we could do this, right? So it looks like we can.
Yeah. Well, last time we had some problems, but I had just fired up the Raspberry Pi for the first time in a while, like as a machine. Like I was doing a lot of server stuff. In fact, even restream our streams from OBS on the other computer. Like it was a busy computer on the side of it. Now using it for this, I've had to convert it from doing all that stuff to this, and now I'd like to convert it back. But we'll
Okay.
it's
Sorry, I
just
passed out.
it's a long road. No worries, man. No worries. You must you got a big day ahead of you tomorrow night anyway. So
Yeah, true, true.
probably
And it's like
probably
4th of
want it.
July, so like, it's
Oh
just gonna
yeah,
be a crazy day.
it's Maya's birthday. I
Oh,
just
happy
realized.
birthday, Maya.
Maya's a happy birthday. Oh, I saved her a treat too just for that. So anyway. Yeah, like I'll be thinking about it. Yeah, yeah, because it's July 4th, right? It's your American Independence Day, so it's like it's her birthday, just
Yeah, right,
coincidentally.
right.
It's
Yeah.
just so, but I end up like planning for it, and then it just blows right by because it's nothing here. Canada Day is 4 days ago,
Yeah, it's just
so
whatever.
well, yeah, because like we celebrate it 4 days before you guys do because our Canada Day is like it's like why couldn't we just make it the same fucking day, guys? Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's stupid. Well, I think it's
Pretty much,
Gematria,
pretty
actually,
pretty much
because
your
it's
birthday is our
74.
birthday. Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Wow. Is it? Oh, wow.
It actually was on the second, but they made the celebration on the 4th.
Mm,
If you look into history, they actually signed the whatever on the second.
right.
So yeah, it's just I think they did it for Gematria purposes because 74 matches so many things.
Right. Well, on that note, catch up with us next week as we hopefully get back to work and do cover some of this stuff. I'm just going to end the stream here, and we can
Okay,
keep talking if you want.
sure, sure.